Yes! Good rising. Hi, my loves. It's Freaky Friday. Is you ready? Because I'm ready. Hold on, because I want this to read differently. I want it to read. It doesn't matter. It says Freaky Friday. Nobody else cares what it says. Hey, my love. Give me a second. We're going to pull up so we can have everything on everything. Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Tayla Andre. Waking up with Tayla Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I thank you, I love you, I appreciate you for spending your time with me today. Please share, like, bring your friends, tell your friends to come on in, share it, like it. Everything Tayla Andre, TaylaAndre.com. Today we are speaking with Richard Goosed for Freaky Friday. We are going to be talking about African spirituality, astral projection, telekinesis, levitation. I want to do levitation. He is the student of Master Bobby Hemmett. He has a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel, and you can see his name right here on You've Been Goose. And so I'm super excited about today because we're going to learn about how African spirituality and African sexuality are interconnected. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. What's going on, Richard? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourselves? How y'all doing out there in the web?
We are super fantastic. We always good. We ain't
Sounds
got
like
no
a winner.
worries. And so please tell me, first and foremost, for those who do not know, who is Master Bobby Hemmett?
Bobby Hemmett is he started back in the 80s, and he basically connected all of our history that was hidden, and he brought it to the surface, and he started connecting everything so that way we could understand where our history actually came from, because there's a lot of stuff that's out there that is usurped by a lot of different people, and they don't know it was we that actually did it, Black people.
Okay, so Bobby Hemmett took all of this information and brought it to the surface as far as spirituality and sexuality when it comes to Black people that
Yes.
are originated from Africa.
Yes, correct. Not
Okay.
just Africa. We usurped. We had the whole planet.
You better
They're
say
all
that.
Yeah, it's real. Real.
Okay.
There's Black people in America right now that think that they came from Africa. Like, no, we were here before anybody ever showed up. It's well
They came
documented in
before
history.
Columbus.
Yep. Who you think Columbus went here and wrote about? He said when he hit the shores of South America, he was like the people that he wrote back to Queen Isabella saying that the people I just met remind me of the people of the Queen of Sheba, which is a dark-skinned Black race people. And before the Olmecs showed up, there was documents that show that there were third dynasty Egyptians, aka Kamites, that were already here.
You better say that stuff. Because
Yeah.
it's a conspiracy theory that the land of Eden is here in America and not in Northern Africa.
It depends on what you consider northern, because what you consider northern is really southern in Africa, because they go off the longest river, which is the Nile River, which was called the Happy River, Hapi, and it flows from the top all the way down to the bottom. So their south is our north.
Hold on, but is it north regardless of what like so
Mm-mm.
they're just upside down to us. So when I say Northern Africa, I mean the Middle East because the Middle East is really like still on the African tectonic plate.
Yeah, but it's just the way. If you look at, hello, you still there? I lost you. I don't know if anybody can. I don't know if anybody can see us. Are you still there? I lost your visual. I'm gonna have to text her and tell her that I lost her. Let's see if I can tell her. Lost you. Feel not here all by myself. Hello? Oh, okay. Well, I can't hear you. I can't see you at all. Okay, no problem. So, basically, as far as my mic, you can hear me, right? Okay. So basically, like I said, our history, you look at the world's educational system. Okay. I'm talking about every country on this planet. All right, I see you coming back on. Oh, there we go. So if you look at the history of this world, it came from what they call the Egyptian mystery system. Okay. It's the 40-year mystery system where they took a kid around the age of 5 and they put them in an educational system for 40 years. When they graduated, they were called the Egyptian priests or the Kamite priests, because Kemet was the original name of that land before it was invaded. Now they went out to every place and started teaching everybody. So you hear them landing in. You hear about the Moors that ruled Spain and Europe for 700 years. Those were the Egyptian priests. So if you look up, you don't have to take my word for it. Look up.
And built it, right? They built
the first 16 universities. So if you go to the Rothschilds website, I used to go there all the time. I haven't been there recently, but they used to pose in front of some Egyptian hieroglyphs. Where do you think that they get their education from? They got it from us. And they also have pictures of the Moors of that time on their buildings, and they're dark-skinned, nappy-head Negroes. So you can't. So they can't get mad at me. So the last thing that they learned when they were coming out of there was learning how to please a woman correctly, because that was part of the information. But you got to understand that these people at that particular time, they had all the prophecies because they came from Atlantis, aka Lemuria. And they said, well, we already know that they're going to get invaded at a certain time and the information is going to be lost. So we're going to put it in a different area. And that's when you get into the Hindus and the West Indians and whatnot, and they having the sexual tantra and everything, the Kama Sutra and all that stuff. They put it in that area so it can survive. But it's still our information because the people that are there currently right now, there are dark-skinned people over there. They just they're so just not acknowledged.
So you mean to tell me you just sipping some tea over there, huh? So
no, this is a combination of some. Give me some Jack Daniels and hook it up with a little bit of twang.
It is too early for this, and you're a whole hour before us too.
Nah. When I'm doing, I usually work nights, so this is really like my time off and everything.
I got you.
But whenever I'm doing any spirituality, I'm drinking some Jack Daniels, I'm drinking some liquor, spitting to the gods, to the ancestors, because that's where your energy comes from.
What are you saying right now? Because religion says that you are supposed to stay away from spirits and you are not supposed to be drinking, you ain't supposed to be smoking because that is ungodly.
Okay. Religion came from the Egyptians. They copied the Egyptian stories. You look at the story of Jesus. Jesus is not older than Horus. Look at Horus, the bird head god deity. Look at his story. His story is the exact same story as Jesus, and he's 10,000 years older than Jesus.
How do Christians rectify that?
They're going to be mad, but they're not going to look it up. If you take the story of Moses. Moses was found where, and they can't BS me because I actually have 3 of the alleged versions of the Bible and the one on Satanism.
Hold on. Where are these? Yo, this way, Freaky Friday just took a whole new turn. I'm interested. You have what?
I have books. I carry books. I'm probably the only black person in my age bracket that reads books. I have
That's
some
not
ancient
true.
books. Huh?
I want to see what you said you have the Book of the Dead. Like how you got the Book of
Yeah.
the Dead?
Yeah, I do.
The original Book of the Dead?
Yeah.
Go get it, Richard. I don't believe this. I need
Okay, I
to.
got it.
Yes, I want to see the Bible and the Book of the Dead, Richard.
I got my stuff set up right here where I can't. Hold
You
on a
can't
second.
even leave.
Hold on a second.
I'm so interested.
I'm so glad I got some bottoms on because I wasn't expecting on getting up. Hold on.
Hey, that's real life. I feel you. That makes two of us. Yo, so those that are just now tuning in, checking in, wake up with Tayla Andre. Today's Freaky Friday. We supposed to be talking about African spirituality, connecting to and being a part of African sexuality, and how like we truly are in our essence just sexual beings oozing out spirituality. We're talking with Richard Goose. You got Goosed on Instagram, who just drops gems. I don't know if you guys remember last week when we were having conversations. Richard was in the chat like, yo, I teach this. I teach astral projection. I teach tantric sex. I was like, all right, then come teach us something. And he just made mention to giving us a little history on African spirituality and African sexuality and where it all came from and how it stemmed. He told us that once upon a time, our ancestors knew that, you know, the prophecy was coming and they knew that we were going to be invaded and all of our stuff was going to be burnt to the ground. And so they went ahead and shipped it to India. They shipped it to other areas that it could be protected. And so even though it looks like it's somebody else's stuff, it looks like it's Indian stuff, it's really us. That we just sent it over there and he was like, here, baby, hold this for me. We'll be back in 2,000 years.
Yep. That is true. They think that black people have never done nothing for their women. We love our women. Do you know that the Taj Mahal was actually built for a black woman?
No, tell me more.
Girl, don't let me have to get started. Okay,
you
so
said the Rothschilds be where? Because I'm on the Rothschildsandcompany.com. I want to see these pictures that you were talking about with Rothschilds in front of black people.
they were in front of Egyptian hieroglyphs. They used
Okay.
to pose in front of Egyptian hieroglyphs. So you might see it. I don't know if they took it down, but I know every time we've ever went live and well, like when I was in Facebook and I was heavy in Facebook for real, I had thousands of followers. As soon as I click on, it would just flood. It would flood the whole system, and I was teaching people how to change the weather, how to dimensional travel, and the whole 9 yards. And they were like, "Yo, he's dropping way too much science." So next thing you know, they started blocking me, and a lot of my stuff got. They were like, "Man, you didn't hit me up. I was waiting for your feed," and I was like, "I clicked on you to add you," and they started taking stuff off. So you may see it and you may not see it. I'm not sure. But
You can't see anything. There is absolutely nothing with Rothschilds and Egyptian one together. There's literally like 20 pictures, and I don't know if you guys ever did a Google photo search, but it is absolutely like millions of pictures, yet I can't find them right now. But continue. Let's see this book. I want to see this Book of the Dead. I want to see these 3 Bibles and explain to us what we're looking at.
Okay, so now the regular Bible, you have the ones when they start changing the way they word phrase everything, because they have a new version now that's set up to be able to every way everybody speaks now can understand. So it's pretty big, so I'm gonna have to back it up. Let's see.
Oh, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I thought you meant you had like.
Hold on. That's some of the information that's in the current Bible. This book right here, can you see? Is it you can see it, right?
Yes, yep. Frank Herbert.
Dune. Okay. This book right here is basically what they said that the stuff that the books that they took out of the Bible, because there's 66 books in the Bible. This one actually has the complete ones that they dug up in the 1940s. And
the Sea Scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
And the Pope told you to stay away from. This is the book.
Yo, you know what my favorite book is in the whole wide world? Is Enoch. I love Enoch.
Well, the thing is, they're going to tell you the Samaritans were somebody else, but they're black people. This one right here.
Demonology by King James?
A lot of people don't know that. This is on Satanism.
What?
So people will sit back and try to tell me stuff. I'm like, I got the books. What you talking about?
Oh, demonology?
Yeah.
The King James version of the Bible. He got the Bible and he got demonology.
Yeah. So a lot of your other stuff is going to be hidden in different guys got a chance to get a hold of this information. They brought it out. Now, does everybody? I know you should know what the name, the phrase persona non grata means, right?
I do not. Teach me.
Persona non grata basically means that you're no longer acknowledged, no longer worthy. You're like disgusting or whatnot. So if you're a writer, if you're the person that's putting out something, a book or whatever, if you decide to put out something that they don't like, all of a sudden now you're persona non grata of that world. They don't even acknowledge you.
Oh, the mayor did that to me. Yes, I do understand that.
Okay, gotcha. So the person that a lot of people, if they want to get into this information, and I don't want to take up too much on Freaky Friday to talk about, religious dogma.
Your ass is coming back, Richard. I just want to let you know that we kidnapping you like they kidnapped Africans. We kidnapping you, and we are going to teach as much as possible that we can.
Hey, you know what? I'm cool with it. Now, this right here is Gerald Massey, Ancient Egypt, Light of the World. When he went into Kemet, no, not Kemet, when he went into Ethiopia, aka Kush, and he went ahead and he seen what he seen.
Let me see that again. Yeah.
I'm trying to get it in the camera.
No, I got it. Go ahead.
My name is kind of blocking it on my end. But anything from Gerald Massey is a must-have. He has Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, Natural Genesis, Volume 1 and 2. And this is Natural Genesis.
Why are Rastafari studies written by a white man?
Rastafarian?
Yeah, why is this white man have like so much history about us?
Because a lot of it was there's a lot of things that will say, well, if you make them believe that it's their stuff, they'll preserve it. Because you know how it is. When somebody conquers you, they're the ones that write the history. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Romans, they ruled. They invaded Kemet, and they went ahead and they burnt 750,000 scrolls and books and everything that they had. They sat on information for over 1,000 years and didn't know how to do anything with it because they weren't the ones. They weren't the ones that was taught anything outside of the Etruscans, later on called the Etrurians, but now is known as the Troy. A Troy that had the Trojan horse and everything. Those are all black people. Those are the people that taught the Romans. The people that taught the Greeks were the Minoans.
So Helena Troy, the sexiest woman on earth, was a black woman.
Booty.
Are there any pictures, like any drawings or paintings of her?
It is very, very, very hard. You'll find them maybe in the Vatican somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Because
we can't get in the Vatican.
Nah, you ain't gonna put none of that stuff out. And the thing is, you got to understand whenever you look at a lot of these documentaries and everything, because I watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah,
they got everything.
A white woman with blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah, everything is always whitewashed, and I'm like, well, it's not me being a mad black person. It's me saying I want to be acknowledged for what I do. Mm-hmm. I want my people to be acknowledged for what we did. We're the ones that did all that. The first step pyramids was in Shikara was made by the first physician, a black man. And you think that it was him, his sister, and his mother. This information is well documented in history, but they don't want to let you know about it. But that man was named Imhotep. Well, you look at the mummy, you see Imhotep as looking like a white boy. No, he was black. A lot of people don't know that, but the information is there. They just don't give it to you because ultimately, if you're trying to rule a race, think about it. We were in slavery for 400 plus years. Why would they give you some information so that way you can get back on top when you were on top in the first place? Shit, even in the Seti One's pyramid in the Giza Plateau, it's carved in stone. Okay, it's carved in stone. That's older than Christianity, older than religion. It has the 42 negative confessions of Mayats that shows 9 of the 10 commandments in there. So we had that before religion. It shows black people inventing Europeans. And stop calling them Caucasians because they're not Caucasians. Caucasian, look up in an Encyclopedia Britannica. Caucasians are black people, nappy head noodles. So it's like they just don't tell you, because if you don't understand, that's the reason why they changed the name. You can look up Egypt all day long, but if you look up Kemet, Kemet, all of a sudden now you got a different page pop up. Like, wait a minute, why isn't this information? Because they changed the name to change what they were doing.
Yo, and everything says Caucasian means white. Caucasian related to the white race of humankind.
Not at all. I actually have something. I'll do it while I'm doing this. I think I still have the deal on my phone. I went ahead and I screenshot that and I sent it to somebody and it shut them up. They couldn't say nothing else to me, but because like I do my research. But I just recently dealt with my hard drive crashing on me, and it had a wealth of knowledge. I was like, oh no.
Where the hackers at? Any hackers can help Richard Goose. So Richard, all right. So we come to the halfway mark of the hour, and we didn't even get to nothing sexual. Let's talk about the sexuality.
Cool.
Let's talk about.
We come back on this.
So we'll hit Black spirituality in a minute, and Black history in a minute. African spirituality, African history in a minute. But I do want to talk about, how do I astral project to go have sex with somebody?
Okay, astral projection is, you got to get ready, get yourself, and even on my link that I went ahead and showed on there, I'm loading now that I know people are paying attention, because I put it up and no one was even hitting me. Basically, you got to it's a prep. You got to get yourself prepped to be able to go ahead and meditate, to be able to astral project.
Okay, so give us the steps. I need step by step.
So what you do?
Like I know nothing.
Okay, so what you do? What I usually do for people, what I tell them to do first, you do a salt and sugar bath. The salt and sugar it's an even mix, and that's on my YouTube channel. It allows you to balance your energy. Basically, you take a nice hot shower, blow all that funk off you, get yourself nice squeaky clean, and then go ahead and do a bath. Put salt and sugar in it. It's an even amount, and you just lay in it for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
When you get out, now you go to your room. You can't have no electrical stuff on, like your TV. Your TV's plugged in, it's emitting rays and everything. You can't deal with that. Everything is frequency. So you got to unplug everything. If you got a phone and you're going to use that phone, put it in airplane mode, plug in a wire set up so that way you can have your headphones wired up, so that way you don't have to worry about Bluetooth. And you make sure your bed is clean, spray for insects or anything like that. You got to make sure that your room is clean. Make sure it's nice and dark. Best time to do this is at night, because the night air is different than the day air. Everything is different. You know, you got less traffic, less noise, no animals making all this stuff. You know, you're pretty much in a calm state of mind. So around 11, 12 o'clock, best time. Okay. That's the best time to make love too, because, you know, it's more sensual. It's more engaging. You know, it's just, you know, the candle lights flickering and everything. You're like, ooh, I just seen a nipple. So I'm sorry. So basically, what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll put powder. My grandmother taught me how to clean my room and everything. So I put powder up underneath my sheets. That's that nostalgia feeling. I'll go ahead and I'll get me some whiskey. Okay. Get you some whiskey. I don't care what religion tells you, get some whiskey. All right. Go ahead and get just something stout. All right. You don't need a whole lot. You just need about a good shot. Get some lemons for a chase. Do some Vicks in your nose, because eucalyptus oil inside of Vicks blocks a lot of stuff, especially if you're going out and you're dealing with all this COVID crap and everything. It'll block a lot of that stuff. So basically you'll go ahead and you'll lay down, get you some music that has some high hertz with something that's
580, 528.
there you go. And you just sit back and you relax. You got to be butt naked though, up underneath the sheets, butt naked. But I'm just still saying, because when you have clothes on, your body feels it moving around, feels it touching, and it's going to trigger something in your head, making you think that there's something crawling on me, something's going to bite me. So it messes with your focus.
Okay.
You can't be in there with anybody else. You got to be by yourself.
Because so my son and daughter just did this, and my daughter got my son to be able to astral project. So Anari came out of his body. He said that he was sitting next to himself, but he could make his fingers move, and he was watching himself making his fingers move. And Asaria is very spiritually in tune. And she was like, Mommy, I tried. I don't know how he was able to do it, but they were together when it happened.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times it depends on the energy, because your role of whoever it is your family members in this world, in this current phase in life, is just you're just related just by that body. You're not related as far as the energy is concerned. The energy is, you could be a different person. I'm a reincarnated state of Ogun and Ptah. I was those people back in the days. And I do the same thing today. Ogun, god of iron. I'm a welder. I'm a blacksmith. I build stuff. I fabricate stuff, and I have visions. And whenever I go back to sleep and everything, where I go back and I'm battling somebody, and I got swords, and I'm going at it. I'm a warrior. So you just playing a role. It's just like an online video game. You log in, you pick the character, you go through the whole thing, and then when everything is all said and done, you die, reset, and now you're back into another body. And the Emerald Tablet of Thoth talks about that. So you can YouTube Emerald Tablet of Thoth. It's about 4 hours long.
Yes, I love it.
You know about it?
Yeah, I listen to that on replay on a regular basis. And one of the things I've noticed is when I listen at night, like I go other places in my dreams when I listen at night.
Yep. And that's basically the best thing about it, because a lot of people don't understand you are not bound to this body just because of you being in this body. You leave every time you go to sleep. You astral project, but the way to do it, what I call a COE, concentrated out of body experience, you have to go ahead and set your body up to be able to do that. So don't drink no coffee, don't drink no tea, anything that's going to make you urinate. Clean out everything. So that way you don't have any interruptions, because, the first thing you do when you got to use the restroom, you get up. Females can do it a little bit longer than men because, we got a prostate and we got to hold the pee, or we'll mess around, pee on ourselves. Women can hold their pee a lot longer than we can. So no one's in the room. You're laying there, you got some music playing, you're breathing inside your nostrils, out through your mouth. There is a way to position in your mouth and your nostrils where you can be able to do that without moving. You're going to start feeling your body being numb. It's going to come all the way from your feet and your hands. And next thing you know, the only thing that's going to feel alive is your face and your heart chakra. So you just continue to breathe in and out, and you think of where you want to go. After you think of where you want to go, you're automatically going to leave up out. Now, my son, I taught him how to astral project, and he was funny because he was a pretty heavy set kid. He was like, I was flying around the house and I didn't feel fat. I was laughing. And I was like, I said, okay, you feel like you didn't have any weight. He's like, yeah. He was like, when I went out, it was weird because the walls felt like vibration. I said, they're going like, zzz, zzz, zzz. He's like, yeah. I said, that's the energy of you going through the walls and everything, because the walls hold energy. He's like, oh, okay. So teaching people how to astral project is very, very simple. Sometimes I even put people in a room, and it was funny because I had an opportunity to show a buddy of mine how to astral project, and I told him what he needed to do. So he had clothes on, he's in the bed and everything, and I'm sitting here trying to talk him out of his body, and he just kept breaking concentration. He's like, so he gets up and he gets undressed and he's walking around, and I'm like, he's like, don't trip, and I'm like, man. I'm like his buddy just swinging around and everything, and I felt like Dave Chappelle. I'm like, how am I supposed to feel about this? I don't know what they do. So he gets down back in the bed and everything, and I continue to go ahead and do it because I'm very professional with the whole thing, And he couldn't get out of his body. He felt it coming, but he couldn't get out of his body. And it was because of, he said he had too much stuff going through his head. I'm like, you got to clear your mind. You got to be relaxed. You got to stop worrying about everything else. Your body's going to try to keep you inside because it thinks that you're dying. So it's trying to survive. So because of the fact that it's trying to survive, it's going to go ahead and do anything it can to keep you in. So it's going to make you think something's crawling on you. Your body's going to literally be crawling. Ignore it. And then when you finally come up out of your body, you got to chant to yourself, whomever you may be. Let's say your name is Shamika. Shamika, it's time for you to come out. Come on out. Either you're going to raise up, you can fall down, come out of your feet, come out of your yoni, come out of your head, whatever. You just come out of your body. Then you're capable of being able to go around. Now, the Emerald Tablet of Thoth talks about that. Don't go too far out of the side of this universe, but I've been to Mars. I've been up underneath the sea. I've been up underneath the ground. I've been all over the place. Up underneath the ocean. There is some crazy stuff that a lot of people don't even believe exists. But the thing is, it's your experience. It's not somebody else's experience. And until they actually do that, there you go.
So how does one, as far as like sexuality is concerned, and sex being religion suppressing sex, where African spirituality and sexuality intersect?
They're scared of what we can do. So religion, if you look at what religion really means, it's to bind back. It's not allowing you to be free on what's going on. And they talk more down about women than they do the devil. And the devil is nothing but black people anyway. That's another subject. But basically, if you have somebody on the other side of town that you want to go ahead and see, let's say if you want to, I've done that before. I've went into my neighbor's house.
I want to go see my Nana. Yes. How do we go see Nana?
Just Astroproject. You think of where you want to go, and you're instantly there. We are the real gods of the universe, so we can do whatever we want when we're in the universe. We're just trapped in this body. The story of Satan being cast down for 1,000 years is our story.
You making this really difficult to stay on topic. You making it really difficult to talk about sex.
I'm just saying.
I just want to talk about everything else other than sex.
We have the ability to leave. We can go anywhere we want to go. And so you don't think that you see people when you're in the spirit world? Yeah, you see a lot of people. People that have died, people that are already in the spirit world waiting, people that you know. You can meet your friends. Some people don't even know that they're in it. You'll bump into them and they'll wake up and be like, man, I had a dream about you and everything. And if you don't remember it, you can be like, okay, yeah, whatever. But when you meet into somebody that you want to engage with, you can engage with that person.
You just took my dreams to a whole new level. How many times I have to call somebody like, oh, I dreamed about you. This happened. Be careful. And then 3 days, 4 days later, they're like, yo, Tayla, what you told me came true.
Where is that? There you go. So yeah, that's what happens. I do that all the time.
So, all right. What is tantric sex and how does one engage?
Okay, now tantric sex is basically, men have to understand that even Osiris was jacking off. The last thing that the Egyptian priests learned when they left Kemet out of that 40-year mystery system was how to please a woman and how to hold their shit. Because regular coming, if you just regular nut, that was looked at as a disappointment. Orgasming is the way to do it. So the tantric sex is basically teaching you how to hold your nut. So it's like practice makes perfect. So if for the guys, if you doing your thing, you got to learn how to hold it and get it to where you could keep it long and strong.
Nah, tell them how to do this. Don't just say it. How do they do it?
It's just practicing. When you beating off, when you rubbing one out, you just don't let it go when it comes. You're supposed to hold it. You're supposed to suppress it, keep it pushed down in there. And that in that practice, that allows you to be able to go ahead and hold it a lot longer. Just like some guys, you can equate to this. You go ahead and you start doing that for a good 2 hours, and then you finally bust that nut. That sucker is strong. You're like, wow. I do it all the time. 2 hours in, that's a good one. Now for women, and like I said, it's just men taking their practice. You got to practice this stuff. You can't just, it's no such thing as quickies. You got to be in it for the long haul. It's just when you get ready to get that point, that tingle, back off, jump back on it, get it back up, keep it long and strong. If you're in the middle of having engaged in sex with a woman and you getting ready to nut, just pull out and don't touch. Even if it drips, don't touch it. Once it starts dripping, go right back in that sucker, and it'll stay long and hard, no problem. There's guys that do it 2 and 3 times a time on Pornhub. I see that all the time, and they nut like 3 times in a row. They'll pull out, don't touch, and then go right back in and be in it. Pull out, nut, go back in it. But if you make it where it's too intense, that's when you shot your load. Now for women, the understanding of women, the sexual tantra of women are already set up, ready for it. Understanding how to please a woman is the elite gods, and that's generator, operator, and destroyer, this esoteric. The elite gods are head doctors. I'm a head doctor. When I get into a woman, I'm sucking for about 2 hours. And it's not just, being all rough and everything. You got to massage the heck out of it. It's almost like you in a dance with her. You just got to be in love with it, because that yoni is a goddess. That's an entity. And it knows if you really like what you're doing. You get them guys, but all right, let's go ahead and do it. And you ain't pleasing no woman. I don't know how many women I done ran into that does not get pleased. And then when they find out, some head from me, they're like, yo. One woman, she told me, she said, if we can just put a camera inside your mouth. I was like, camera in my mouth? What kind of? But she's never had it like that before. It was so intense that she just like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. And the thing is, you got to be ready to be able to put in that time, because the correct way of being able to have sex is supposed to take about 2 days. That's the original way it's supposed to be.
Yo, I ain't never had sex for 2 days, maybe 12 hours. I ain't never had sex for 2 days.
That's a warm up.
Put me on today. Please teach me what I need to know.
So what I did is I learned about, like I said, Bobby Hemmett. He went into a lot of it and everything, and that's how I found out about it. Women, you got to shave all those pubic hairs off, because that cuts a pump that's down there. When you have hair growing, there is fluids that are constantly, acids that are leaking out to keep everything clean down there. But when you cut all that hair off, that pump turns off and you start emitting collets. And that's what a man has to ingest. But when he's down there, he's eating and you're coming, you're supposed to be swallowing that. That's how I connected when I told you I connected with my queen in her language, because she's Dominican. And she speaks Spanish. She's Taino Indian and some other stuff, but she's from the Dominican Republic. And I started knowing her language like that. She was talking to her mom, and I heard the whole conversation. I was like, why was she asking you about this? She's like, how did you know? I'm like, I don't know. I just know what y'all was talking about. But I found out the more and more I started doing it, the more I started ingesting. I was sampling her memories all from that. And that is an actual practice that they don't want you to know about. You heard about the thing, if you had sex with somebody, you had sex with their partners for like 10 years before and everything, it falls along the line of that. It's universal memory. It's called Akasha Records.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
that I'm familiar with, Akashic Records. I am familiar with that. And so, hold on, like y'all supposed to be locked up in a room for 2 days while having sex, or it's just like the process of sex itself takes 2 days?
You heard about Nas and Khalees going at it, right? They were in that hotel for a couple days, or damn near a week. Made that love baby. Hey, it is what it is.
So, because you engage in sex for 2 hours minimum, do you have sex every day, or like once a week for 2 hours? How does sex work?
Well, before I met my queen, I was sampling 2 females, and I was back and forth every day. I'm like, Come on, let me get some cabasa. Let me get a little bit of brains. All right, let me go ahead and give me a little bump. I was back and forth because that was the practice. And that's the reason why I started learning so many different things. It was so tough that one of the girls, she had went out to one of her little friends' house or whatever, and she was like, I was like, yeah, I astroprojected because I could feel where you were at, because we had sex so many times, and I actually floated through the house and I seen exactly what she was doing, came back to my body, and I told her, yeah, you was over here messing with this other dude and you was riding him and everything. She was blushing like crazy. She's like, how did you know that? I'm like, I just know my shit. I've been doing it. I've been practicing it for so long. You get connected with those people. So when you learn how to astral project, you open up the door to, those abilities. So you don't necessarily have to have sex every day. You can, okay, but it just depends on that person, because, some people are just tired. They don't want to do that.
You still failed to tell us, how exactly do we engage in tantric sex? Like, how, it sounds amazing. You have sex for 2 days, make sure you shave, suck all the juices so you can enter her memory. But like, how does one actually begin? I know nothing. I am a man. I'm going to smash somebody tonight. Walk me through what I need to do.
If you're a guy and you're trying to go ahead and engage in sexual tantra and you have not practiced, you're in elementary.
Practice right now.
You want to practice right now? Get the beating off and learn how to hold it. That's all it is. It's just that thing. It's going to be intense, but learn how to hold it. Don't do it to bust a nut.
Who's not supposed to, like, when a man is just masturbating, he's not supposed to come, period.
No. You're supposed to hold it. You're supposed to keep that inside of you. If you get to the point where you're feeling about you getting ready to bust, let go. Don't touch it. Let it calm back down, then jump right back on it.
But what about blue balls? Blue balls is the real thing. I don't want blue balls. I don't want to like get myself to the point of orgasm and then have to stop and then start over and then stop and then start over. Like, my penis gonna get hard. The buddy gonna quit. The ball's gonna hurt. It's gonna be up in my stomach. I need to bust this nut.
Well, that's just what comes along with it. It's called practice. It's trial and error. Everybody's body is not the same. All I can say is go ahead and just beat off and learn how to hold it. And that's how you learn how to orgasm versus just regularly coming, because that's the practice for the man. The man has to keep it long and strong, but he also has to know he has to have some knowledge. You got to have some spirituality inside of you. You got to know something, because if you get a woman to have an orgasm, which is called a serial orgasm. A serial orgasm is a bunch of small orgasms put together, and it seems like one big long orgasm. Women are not going to be able to sustain themselves. You see them women actually coming, and they're like, oh, they're going crazy and everything, and they can't hold themselves. It's because they're having a serial orgasm, and you got to be able to hold on to her and keep her channeled correctly, because your thoughts.
I am a serial orgasmic person. So last week when we were having a conversation, I made mention to, there's like a point of orgasm where like my back has to be rubbed, has to be massaged, because it hurts. Like, my back hurts. Mm-hmm. And it comes like all the way up, and it's weird. Like, I cannot explain it. But that is your
Kundalini energy going up your spine. That's when you're coming from your root chakra all the way down up to your crown chakra.
So how do I properly do it so that it's not, because right now I have not mastered it, and it's weird and it hurts. So how do I allow it
a different position
in my head?
Do a different position. The Kundalini energy is going to rise anyway. But the thing is, you have to understand how to control that Kundalini energy. You got to make those chakras swirl. So, and I was expecting this. So, oh, nope, wrong book. There's a lot of books that deal with a lot of women's stuff. So I'm going to flash those real quick so that way they can get it on.
Okay.
Mysteries of the Dark Moon by Demetria George.
Okay.
You're gonna want, ladies, if you mess around and get pregnant by a nigga and you really want to get away from that deal, you can masturbate and meditate in the damn closet and make your period come on. This controls a lot of stuff. You want to check this out?
Hold on,
Okay.
put the book again. Put the book again. So, Mysteries of the Dark Moon by Demetria George helps you control your period.
You control your bodily functions when it comes down to how your body acts, when it comes down to your menstrual, how you deal with your energy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another one, Tantra, the cult of the feminine. Okay. And this one is Andre von Leisbeth.
Okay. And what is this book about?
All right, this is dealing with what you're talking about. I'm sitting here having all these deals, and it's messing up my back and everything. And I don't. This book right here, this will take care of you.
Okay.
Anything from Donald Tyson, get it. Donald Tyson, Sexual Alchemy.
Hold on, I don't want to have magical intercourse with spirits. I feel like I have been sexually touched by spirits before.
You have. You just don't remember.
I'm wet on a regular basis. I'm like, yo, nothing happened in my dreams.
Now, David Kinsley, this is because the women are on top. The women are the extreme goddesses. I don't mess with no women as far as disrespecting them. I'll disrespect a man in a hot second. Women, I bow down.
Other way.
The 10 Mahadevas from David Kinsley, and it's called Tantric Visions of the Divine Feminine.
I want that book right now.
You can't have it. It's mine.
Wait, so did you buy all of these at a bookstore? Was there a certain website that you went to?
I went ahead and went on Amazon and just found a lot of this stuff that was it was available.
Okay.
And of course, when you're dealing with this one is basically for when you're levitating and everything, because your heart chakra takes care of your levitation. So, but that's another story.
Okay, that's another day. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Because we only have 9 minutes, and I still haven't figured out how I can astral project to go have sex with somebody.
when you go into the spirit world, everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you just meet up with somebody like, hey, let's get it on. It is what it is, and there it is. It's not a hard thing. It's simple.
Okay, so what if a man want to go, but he don't know how to like tell a woman he want to meet her in the spirit world?
If he learns how to astral project, learn how to meditate and everything, then he can be able to go ahead and meet him in the spirit world. What I do is I astral project, and I'll pull somebody out of their body when they're sleeping, if they're staying inside of their body, and I'll pull them out and be like, hey, what's up? Let's get it on. And that's just the way it is.
You cheating on your queen in the spirit world?
My queen is a freak. My queen is a freak. She filmed me doing some shit, so I'm like, I'll never leave her. Fuck you. Oh, sorry.
No cuss words. Yo, okay, so
I said funk. I said funk.
I got you. So you can pull people out of, but how do you just don't have authority or permission to pull me out though? Like how you just pull people out of their bodies?
Easy, just talk to them. Everything that you do in the spirit world is the same that you do in the regular world. The
so
fourth dimension.
If I just show up at the foot of their bed, like, hey yo, hey yo.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. And what's going to really trip you out when you finally start messing around in those worlds in that dimension, the fourth and fifth, all the way up to 12th dimension, because it's 12 dimensions, you will start seeing that you are androgynous when you're in the spirit world.
A man and a woman.
The original gods were
Pause. What? I can have a penis?
Yeah.
Yo.
What do you think your clitoris is?
Women.
What do you think your clitoris is? Your clitoris, you shave all the hair off and you pull that little skin back, it look like a penis. It's a small penis.
I don't want a small penis. I want a big penis.
We'll get a pump.
No, I'm good. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
All the ovaries, birth canal is the shaft. It's It
Inside
is
out.
what it is.
Inside out.
Yeah.
You're right. I get it. I get it. So we have come all the way to the top of the hour. We touched on so many topics, but long story short, African spirituality, African sexuality, one and the same. While we're out here practicing religion, telling
Mhm.
us not to drink spirits. I do want you to end with that. As far as like the alcohol is concerned, you said do some whiskey, and as far as like drinking whiskey to connect with your spirits, when a lot of like spiritual practitioners typically like they don't drink and they don't smoke and they stay away from those substances in order to keep them pure, in order to keep them clean, so they can do the work that they're doing. But you're saying the opposite.
I do more things than all these so-called preachers and practitioners do. They ask me all the time. You know how many secret societies are bugging me all the time to show them what I know? And I'm talking about
the same books that you read?
You say what now?
Isn't it in the books that you read?
It's all about the practice. They don't practice that stuff. They don't have the access to that stuff. If you don't have a soul, you cannot connect to this stuff. There's different realms that you cannot get to unless somebody gives you a pass. I'm an elite. Never mind this body. This body ain't nothing. This body comes and it goes. It's what's inside of me that is the most important. So when I find people that, oh no, I don't drink, I don't smoke, man, I'll pull out a blunt, go ahead and smoke, sip me some Jack Daniels and teach you how to Astroproject and meet you in the spirit world and show you some stuff. And they're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, maybe you need to pick up some drinking. Think about it. The same people that are in the spirit world, the same people that's on the corner of the damn store drinking some damn liquor. The same Negroes that you see that are died out there for alcohol and everything. What do we like to do? We like to drink. We like to smoke. We like to have a good time, do drugs, sex. Same thing we do in the spirit world. No different. That's the reason why they don't want this information getting out, because that information specifies that exact thing. That's the practice.
Richard, we're going to have to revisit this conversation multiple times so I can get a better understanding. Can I have a pass? Because I know I have a soul, but can I get a pass?
You can have one. You don't need one, but you can have one.
Rob said drinking is poison, though.
Man, that sounds good. You know, it depends on, it's in moderation. No, we use it for the certain reasons. You know, if you go ahead and you're constantly let's taking weed, for example. People that constantly smoke weed all the time, it becomes something that it goes against them. You follow?
No, I don't, because I smoke weed all the time. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Clarity.
Versus somebody that doesn't smoke weed. Now, me, I don't smoke weed, but if I smoke weed, you'll see me levitating outside. Because that's not something that I do. It's not a part of my system. Now, the Egyptians, they didn't have sugar the way we have sugar nowadays. Sugar was not a part of their diet, but they could go ahead and take 2 cubes of sugar and ingest that and be on a higher than Coke, than crack, because it wasn't a part of their system. So if you take something that's constantly in your adult thing, you see a lot of people smoke weed, they ain't doing nothing. But if I go around and I smoke some weed, I'm going to show you some stuff you ain't never seen before, because it's not a part of my diet. It's not a part of the way I live my life. So you do everything in moderation. That's the reason why people are like, man, I've been smoking all this weed. This ain't doing nothing. I need something more heavier. I need something more stern to get to that high that I used to have when I first started smoking weed. So everything is in moderation. So when I drink liquor, I got bottles, literally gallons of Jack Daniels that I get from, this is Green Label. This is out from Texas. I don't drink this all the time. I drink it every blue moon. And it's only when I get ready to do something. I like somebody tell me, like my queen and her travel partner, which is a friend of mine as well. They're out where you're at. I'm actually going to come out there and visit them before they leave. She's supposed to be leaving around the 12th or whatever. But I was like, I like to get both of y'all together and go ahead and do some astral projection, because she's Lilith, not my queen. Her friend is Lilith, the killer of babies. Who you call on when I told you Demetria George, that's Lilith. She's back. She's back on this earth again, reincarnated into another female. And when she has sex, oh my goodness, the lightning strikes, crazy storms, and all that stuff. My queen, she's Yeminya. And I'm like, yo, I'm Ogun. We met back up. Orishas. So you are part of an elite club. You just don't know about it. And when you leave out of your body, cosmic energy comes back to you. Your Akasha records, everything that you have from your past lives. I used to rap a long time ago. And this wasn't on some borderline stuff. I was actually getting signed with Priority Records. But the guy that I was doing it with, he was on some other stuff. But I was talking about stuff from my past life, and I didn't know where it was coming from. And then when I did my Akasha records, when I Astroprojected and I seen my soul in the room, and I spoke to my soul, it started giving me all my past lives. And one of those past lives was in my record that I was promoting, because it's in your Akasha records. It's in the universe. So when somebody says, no, not supposed to do liquor, please, why do you think they call it spirits? They call it spirits because you're talking to the spirit world. What do you think? The niggas that are drinking on the corner is in the spirit world. That's why we spit to them.
Yo, waking up with Tayla Andre, unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share. We're going to have Richard Goosed back. Please make sure you go to his Instagram, which is You've Been Goosed. Go ahead and give him the IG one more time.
Yes, You've Been Goosed. You'll see me holding a camera like this, a Canon camera, and that's the one I got an afro and everything. So that's the right one. And then, of course, my YouTube channel. I have that link in the description and everything. You can go ahead and check that out as well. I teach people how to. You can ask me questions, I answer. I'm not one of those high and mighty. I'm better than you. I don't need to be gone from me. I'm not one of those type of persons. I'm down to earth. I'm a regular person. You can talk to me.
Thank you so much, Richard. I am Tayla Andre. Waking up with Tayla Andre has absolutely nothing to do with this time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Richard, we will have you back. And I thank you for your time.
You know what? I appreciate you going ahead and dealing with me. I didn't think you was going to log in on a brother.
I got you. I got you.
So I guess, are we done, or we're waiting for it to chime down, or what? I guess we're done.
Thank you, Richard. We are all set. We are all done. I hope you have an amazing day today. And I have your number. I'll store you, and we will figure out how to get you back, because today was dope. And there's so many questions that I have.
Yeah, I'm going to be out in your area. Hopefully in another couple of weeks, and if so, I'd like to come through and chop it up with you.
Yes, and yes, please.
Yeah, I'm a brother that travels.
Well, I hope you have an amazing day today.
Do the same.
Watching, happy Freaky Friday. Y'all men, go on and jack it off and hold it, and jack it off and hold it, and jack it off and hold it, and then go see your lady, and then release, and
there
then
you go.
Tantric sex. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please have sex responsibly.
Yeah, leave them condoms alone.